everyone. Welcome back. To everyone new, hello and welcome. Yes, I have my hand halfway in front of the camera because guess who's back? I'm sure you read by the title. And I'm sure you would all like to see Stellan. To those of you new, Stellan is my Levi. He's fairly new to my collection. And he was just sent out to be rooted. He just got home this morning. Y'all ready to see? Voila! Here's the new Stellan. I should have filmed myself opening his head, the box of his head, because I was shrieking. Y'all would have had to turn down the volume. I mean, I was up here just shrieking and oohing and ahhing. Oh gosh, it probably sounded like a bad movie. Whatever. But really, I was just like, it's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So look at him. Has Stellan not looked so good? Just, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I am so thrilled. You can visit my Instagram where I am going to post pictures of before and after, what his rooting looks like. And as I've said in previous videos, and of course I'm going to hold him up and show you this hair and everything. Let me just talk for a minute. And also, I did nothing with this hair. In fact, I brought the brush and the spray bottle because I wanted you all to see it as I saw it. This is after futzing with it and getting his head back on his body. And look at this hair. I mean, like, it's just, look at how it brushes. I don't want to spray it or anything. I wanted you all to see how it brushes dry. Just, I mean, it's perfect. I've had have in my collection like the dolls from Russia with the Russian mohair, and this is like Russian mohair. So I chose a two-tone color for him in a light brown and then a blonde. So let's see. So he has, and I love the way Lazara did, she blended so nicely some of the blonde coming into, some of the blonde into the brown coming into where it frames the face. And the blonde is framing his face. I have wanted a baby with this like two-toned hair color with the highlighted hair. I have babies that have highlights and like even like 3 different colors used in their hair, but you don't see like that more of like a dramatic difference in any of the dolls that I had. So I was like, loved that look so much. And so when I had to make a decision for Stellan and thought to myself, what do I go with? Do I try to put him back to exactly his original? And from looking at his original photos when he was like first created, when he was with his first mommy, Inez, looking at those photos, it's 2 different styles of rooting between the way that this artist that I'm sending him out roots. Like I didn't think it would necessarily look the same anyway. I mean, I could have done the same color, which I'm not even sure at this point. Was he like I think he was like a brown color. Anyways, and then his second rooting, which was done by his original artist who painted him as well while he was also with his first mommy, and I'm his third mommy. He went to a private collector for about a year or so, and then I bought him from her. So yeah, so he had the two rootings from his original artist with his original mommy. So now the how he came to me in his second rooting was it was a little bit thicker and darker and a little bit more of a grown up grown up baby look, not as newborny. And for his painting, yeah, that's what I wanted. So that's what wound up happening. And I didn't want to, I just could not send him outside of the US. Like, I was paranoid enough that if his head got lost, because this is a really special, important baby. Just want to look outside. Pulling up out front. Oh, I see. Somebody must be having some landscaping done. Anyways, look at him. I just can't. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I don't even know where I was. That's what I went with. Here's this little wooden rattle, his hand carved wooden rattle that Inez had made for him. And it says Stellan on it. Isn't that cute? So he'll always have that with him. So when I tell you that this baby is painted exactly like I would not change one thing, not one thing, if I could. He is painted so perfectly beyond my wildest imaginations of what I would want in a Levi sculpt, in this sculpt. And the newborn, I love Pearl's, painting in the newborn. And I also had the blonde Levi of hers as well that went to Ashley, and I think that baby's moved on as well. But look at that. Just look at I don't know how well you can see his painting, but the little blemish on his face, the little, blotchy cheeks, the milk bumps, his eyebrow. I mean, the coloring, the mottling. And I just, I love my babies, I love to be able to really see the mottling and really see, I like them to have color and life. That's my thing. And he has so much life. He is so real. And look at that hair. I can't stand it. So, it was worth it to me to send Stellan. As I said, his hair was perfectly fine, and it was cute. He was cute. I just, for this baby that is so special to me and is going to be in my collection for a very, very long time, put it that way. You just know. When you know. I kind of almost know when I open a baby, that deep down somewhere in my heart or in the back of my head, I might have an idea of if that, baby's gonna stay around for a while or not. Most of the time. And with a baby like Stellan, when I opened him up, there's just, oh my goodness. And the fact that I had only, like 4 or 5 months ago, it was introduced to the Levi sculpt. I had got my first, Levi sculpt not all that long ago. And the sculpt of the Levi blew me away. I couldn't believe I went this long in my collecting and had never owned a Levi. I always loved the sculpt. I always had it on my wish list. Y'all know I went through that thing where I was like paranoid with the that I didn't think I could bond with the sleeping babies and da 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 da. So once I got past that, I said I have to get a Levi. So I experienced the sculpt, which that in itself, if you're a collector here, if you're new, or if you just simply was like me that never experienced a Levi sculpt, every collector should at some point own a Levi. And I knew that my love for the sculpt was so much that this is a sculpt that I always want to have in my collection. At least for, the next several years. I don't know what my taste will be 10 years from now, but you know what I'm saying, in the long-term future. So it was worth it to me because we all know, or many of us know, that it's not easy to find a baby necessarily that you are so 100% over the top happy with every little thing to where you're never going to consider selling that baby. A lot of collectors, buy, sell, and trade here. It's some of us just want to experience the sculpts. Some of us want the newest, latest thing, the up and coming art, whatever it is. It's the fun of collecting. It's whatever, fancies you, right? This is a luxury hobby. It's not obviously a necessity to buy dolls, of course. So it's something that we treat ourselves to, and we want what we want. And we're all different. We all have different taste. Different tastes, different styles, different ways that we collect. So my thought process with Stellan was, let me get him rooted the way that I would really like to see his hair. This is perfection. I just cannot believe not only how this hair looks, but how it feels, how it's just staying in place. I'm going to spray it and do a little different things with it to do photos and stuff. But again, I wanted you all to see without a drop of water coming out of a bubble wrapped shipping box and then having getting his head filled back and zip tied. And this is what his hair looks like. And all I did was go like this. Wow. Wow. It just feels so, oh my gosh, Stellan, I can't wait. I want to spend as much time today with this baby as possible. Let me take you all off. I know the lighting's not great up here, ladies. I'm sorry. It's like, it's not early morning, but it's like morning light. So he's looking kind of almost reddish, but I just put him in a sleeveless white onesie, and I just put a, clean white, crisp white muslin blanket down under him so that we could appreciate his hair. And with his coloring, with his painting, in the best way. Of course, you all are not seeing the lighting that I am. I apologize for that, but I do the best I can. Look at this baby. Don't you just want to reach through and just pinch those cheeks, smooch that face, snuggle this baby, run your fingers through his hair, kiss that head? And I love how the blonde, because he is mono-rooted, completely mono-rooted, his whole head. So, and to those of you that are not familiar, there is mono rooting is one single hair at a time. Mono mean, one single hair at a time. Micro rooting is, is, I think they say it could be 1 to 3 or 4 hairs at a time, which, they're tiny strands. Micro rooting is still, especially like artists will do that too if the baby's not sparse and it's thicker rooting and you need thickness to the hair. You wouldn't want a mono root. You want to, give, you know what I'm saying? So there's, different ways that's appropriate and different artists that know how to do things different ways or whatever. But he is, because he was going to be, this isn't sparse, but it's not like a full bushy head of hair. It's a nice, thin newborn look. So he is mono rooted. So, yeah, it was just, this was one of the best investments that I have ever made in my doll collecting. I can tell you that, because, no, probably if I went to sell him tomorrow, would I recoup now? Because I paid for the rooting what some people pay for a doll. It's, on top of a very expensive doll. So now he's, got quite a bit in him. And maybe I would. There's, he's a pretty awesome baby. You couldn't pay me enough to sell Stellan. He's just that special. It's right now, it just, I did this to enjoy him for a long time to come. Stellan is my Levi. And I knew it, when it was like meant to be that he was coming home to me. I knew it when he arrived and I opened him up. I just knew that, he was meant to be my Levi. So, anyway, so again, and I'm talking about this to, for those of you that are perhaps new in the collecting or haven't, sent a baby out to be rooted or, have, thought about it, it's very time consuming. I had to remove all of his hair, all of the glue from the inside of his head. I had to send a clean head. And usually when you start dealing with very, very good art, who you would want to work on your dolls, they expect that, they just don't have time. They have very long waiting lists and, lots of people that want to get in. So, and believe me when I tell you, because when I did it, to remove all that glue from the inside of the head and everything, it probably took 5 to 7 hours. You could not pay me enough to do that, like on a regular basis, like forget it. So I don't blame them. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. It's usually a long wait and it's very hard, very, very difficult. I said this in the last video that I made when he was leaving. I can't even help you all out. I can't even really recommend somebody to you. I have people asking, could you give me names of, rooters? I can't. I'm sorry. I can't help you out on that one. It's you got to seek that out on your own, and it's very, very difficult. I can tell you that, to find someone and to get them to take you and to get in, and it's a long wait. So I make the suggestion that, like, it, make sure that it's worth it to you. If you're just thinking about, oh yes, I'll have this doll rooted or that doll rooted, or I just want to change the color of the hair, like make sure that you weigh out all of your pros and cons, and do not, I can tell you, it's my advice not to, and I wouldn't go with just price shopping and going, because yeah, you might find, you know what I'm saying? Like you may, find somebody that's, oh wow, they're so much cheaper. They're open. They could take them right away. But that doesn't mean that you're going to get a good, rooting job. And there might be a reason why they're open and so cheap. So do your homework, look around, look at lots and lots and lots of pictures of, what the artist has, rooted in the past, unless it's somebody that obviously that know through people, have seen their babies, and etc. And in that case, if you are blessed with the opportunity to get a spot, with somebody that's really hard to get in with, know that you trust them, and just pick your color and your style, and you know what I'm saying. All of my normal common sense people will know exactly what I'm saying. I'm going to say that now. Look at this angle of him. I can't. So what do you all think? What do you all think of my precious Stellan? I want to cry. I think I'm just going to leave him in this onesie all day. No, I got to dress him to take some pictures. I don't know. I don't have anything fancy out for him because it's just so hot. So I just have like a little next short romper that is, where is it? Hang on. Let me take a sip of my coffee, ladies. Sorry, I'm still fueling up for the day. I took the that's together. I took the long sleeve out of this, the Guess How Much I Love You little long sleeve outfit. And then, but it's so hot. So right now, and I just have this simple little next, it's white, and it has little giraffe heads, a yellow, and is that a gray? Yeah, gray. So simple, classic baby look, buttons up, and just soft cotton. I just love that classic and the soft. Like, this is what I would put a newborn in today. You know what I'm saying? And then inside in the air conditioning, cover them up or whatever. Or, well, I might put this on them in the AC, the way I keep it anyway. But for going outside, I would have nothing more than this or this. Or a diaper if they were going to be getting wet going in the pool or whatever. Because yes, I put my infants in the pool. Sorry, ladies. Not my dolls, my real children. I was actually a children's swim instructor for several years, probably about 5 years. I did it full time for, I think, a year or two, and then I was doing it part-time with some other things, as well as lifeguarding. So we had babies as young as, well, that school took them as young as, I believe, a month old or 6 weeks old. There was a set of shots. I think it was like a 6-week shots. And then after that, if the parents wanted to bring their babies, they could. I would not put my newborn or that small of an infant in a swim school's pool like that. Because I know how the pH was kept and things in that pool. And not that it wasn't clean or kept well, but it's very, very, very hard to keep water, and especially when you have, diapers bursting. It just, yeah, it's not where I would choose to put. I did have my daughter from, I think, 9 months on. She took her lessons there. And of course I had another instructor do them because, mom, it's, just that's the way that we did it. But anyways, so I was fine with like 9. And even then, 9 months, I remember she got some belly aches and stuff at first. But I said, all right, she'll just, get, gain immunities to, whatever. It wasn't like she had chronic, was really, really sick or anything. But I noticed that like from, being there. So yeah, but in my own, like in my parents, or something like that, yeah, I would put a small infant in. And did you know if you put a baby in water and not let go I'm not telling anybody, I'm just saying it's interesting because they can swim. They can actually swim on their own. That, it's a natural instinct, and they don't suck in water. They don't, take water up their nose, and like they know it's a mechanism. They know, yeah, it's called something, but anyway, it's interesting, and it just gets a baby familiar and used to the water and kind of always being in the water, and then you're not dealing with a child that's afraid of the water when it comes time to actually learn how to swim. Anyhow, I definitely moved off the subject of dolls and Stellan, and hey, I did tell you all I was going to share about my childhood and stuff that wasn't exactly my childhood, but it was my early years. I was, definitely in my early 20s because I was still 18 when my first daughter was born. I was graduated high school, got married, and my daughter was born. I turned 19 the next month. So I did all that when she was, an infant, and I did child care and house cleaning. I did some office work and stuff like that, but that's what I did when she was little, when she was a baby. All right, everyone. I really didn't need to make this a whole half hour long. Thank you for stopping by to see Stellan. Thank you for spending your time with me again today. I'm going to go enjoy this boy and take some pictures. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way out. Check and make sure that you are subscribed and that you have your notification bell hit so that you receive invites to my live streams and so you never miss a video. And until next time, God bless.